Well, welcome to another live session. I figure what I would do with this session here is I would start with the end, so you know kind of where we're going and what happened. So in this session, I only traded the ES, trading the Rexdog trading system. I'll just be out front. We'll go through some of these numbers here. I had a couple bad trades that in my journal I'm going to be berating myself on for the next couple days. Part of that is because I'm focusing on adding value in addition to trading instead of just trading the chart and then adding value where I'm already in a position, maybe the stops are in place, and then I don't have to worry about maybe making a trade decision at that point in time. I will get better at that. What I wanted to do in this video is trade one instrument, the ES. We started at our account balance, which was, we started at 4044 and we ended the day above 10,000. For a P&L of 5403, you can see here we have winning trades at 68%. It should be better. We had a max drawdown of 1870. Now that was pretty much one area where I made bad trades. But you know, part of it is like I said, and I'm just gonna. It's an excuse, and you don't make excuses in trading, but my excuse is that I'm still adjusting to recording. I can only record in 1 hour chunks, I found, to make it easier to process and stuff. The other thing that I found is that I just can't add value when I'm actively trading if I want to make good trades. And so if I'm explaining something in the middle of a trade and something's happening and I'm not focusing on the signals that I'm getting from the Rexdog trading system, then I could be potentially on the wrong side of a trade or a scalp because I'm an always in trader. So that I will be fixing going forward, something I have to work on. Other than that, look, it's a pretty good day. Doubled the account. You can't really complain when you double your account in a day, especially just trading a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours in the afternoon session. So I think that's a good, successful day. Now on to the live trading. Another thing I will mention is that this will be broken up into probably multiple videos, maybe two, maybe three. I got to see how long it's going to be. So you can watch whatever session. And hopefully I did try to add value and tips and just share stuff throughout so that it's just not me trading. You're getting, and I know most people are watching this to see, can they pick up a tip here? Can they pick up a strategy? Can they pick up something that will help them trade? I'll just shamelessly plug the Rexdog trading system. It's pretty much 90% foundation of what you need. But you're watching these videos, obviously, like I did when I started trading. Can I pick up a tip? Can I pick up something that I don't see in the market? Can I pick up an idea? Can I add something to my trading system? Can I add to my edge? I know that's why you're watching this. So that's why, in addition to the trading, I'm also trying to just share perspective on the market. All right, let's get into the live trading. Well, welcome. Today we are going to do some live trading, and today I'm going to do not my typical style of trading. I will just trade the ES, the E-mini. We are starting with $4,044, so that's what we're starting with. We are pre-market. It is 40 minutes before the market opens. I figured it might be a little helpful for maybe you to see me doing, I've already done my pre-market, so but I'll go through it briefly. And then maybe you can kind of see some of the pre-markets that I do to get prepared for the market open. I do sometimes trade this pre-market when I do see an opportunity for a snapback. I would have ordinarily probably traded this this fade here. We're only going to trade the ES. Like I said, there is other charts here. I will not go to them. But we're trading the Rexdog system, the Rexdog trading system. So I'll be trading that. Let's just do some pre-market. Let me pause the video and then I'll come back with some pre-market. So our first pre-market, of course, we're going to look at the daily chart, see where we're closing at. We are momentum long on just about every indicator in the Rexdog system. Let's look at the weekly. We are momentum long, and why can't I see that? 88% long on the weekly. It's looking like it's having a tough time on the weekly. That's probably obvious. We've got highs here. So obviously we have I wouldn't consider this a breakdown candle. It's not even a pay attention candle, just because of the makeup of that candle that week. If we go to the daily, we're going to get some more information. So definitely we have that level here that is getting tough, but we're still, everything looks momentum long. That doesn't mean that there won't be some kind of sell-off here, so I think we'll have to watch that. If we look at the panel that I have, this is mainly Big Tech did into the close, did come in and try to test the upper VWAP here. I do have the advancing declining here for NASDAQ, so I probably should put the S&P one there since I'm trading that here today. The VIX, if we look at the VIX, did get a little elevated yesterday above 1900 or $19. So earlier in the day, there was some kind of risk. What we probably should look at is the VVIX. So let's look at the VVIX and the volatility index, see where that's at. So it's coming off its lows. It's in the middle of a range. But the previous day definitely came up here. It came up here where it's so it's interesting. So that's just, I use this and the VIX in conjunction to kind of get a general. This is more what you would consider quote unquote professionals trading volatility. So that would be one way of looking at it. Like I said, I'm not going to explain much of this stuff, but what I'll just do, we'll keep this chart here as not the NASDAQ, but the SPX. And we will put it on the structure chart. And we'll do auto. Structure is holding up. I mean, we're above the RDA. Got our upper line here. We had rejection there. Pretty obvious. So I mean, the first move I would look for in the market today on the opening range, the kind of initial balance, you could say, is maybe a push down or maybe a push up. Right now, pre-market's trying to get back up to the close, which is right around 42.08 or so. So if we look at pre-market here, we see right around pre-market it's looking to get to the close. That's where it's heading. So in some ways we could probably trade this, but there's not a good entry yet. But we'll put an entry right here and here. See if we get picked up. If we don't, then we'll just wait for the market action to start. So I'm going to pause the video. If I get picked up, I'll open it up. And when the market opens, I'll pretty much do live trading. Okay, we got picked up on one position here. Ideally, we'd like to get picked up on two. This trade really is just, sometimes if you trade pre-market, if you have that opportunity, you get what I call snapback trades, where basically the overnight, overnight typically has, I notice, and I think other people have mentioned this, that they're just not as strong conviction traders in overnight. So you do get a lot of these kind of snapback trades where overnight sells off or rises, and then it comes back to the open or to the close of the previous day. So if you can get picked up in the right area or catch a low like here, so there's sometimes good trades pre-market. It's 30 minutes before the market opens. So for me, I generally stop trading in about 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, just I don't trade. I try not to trade right around the open, and then I do not trade the first 5 minutes. So if I'm already in a position like now and it's doing well, I'll put a trailing stop in. Usually I get took out right away. It all depends though. So just wanted to show we're in a position. I'm going to put a trailing stop here and then just kind of let it take me out. We're already at $100 in profit there. So I'll pause the video and come back probably around the time the market's going to open. All right, just to check in, I got knocked out on a trailing stop on there for about $100. So I'm not going to re-enter. It's 8:09 my time. It's too close to the market open. So I'll be back in about 20 minutes when the market opens, and I'll start just being live right when the market opens. So if we look at the chart here, we're not at market open. We're about 15 minutes. It does suck to get knocked out. I did actually have a signal to actually get back in here when this candle held here, but I didn't take it. I was doing other things. But this would have been a good trade just for a snapback trade. Like I said, we're targeting this area here at a minimum, so about probably 20 below the previous day close. It looks like at least the initial action overnight wants to hold the lows, but we'll see. So I'll check back in here in about 15 minutes. Okay, the market is open. It's 1 minute. I do not trade the first 5 minutes of the market, so this will probably be there's going to be no action. I just basically watch it, see what's happening, see what it wants to do. I used to trade the 5. I think I've mentioned this before. I used to trade pretty much all through it, but I just noticed that I got in more challenging trades if I trade the first 5 minutes. And even the first half hour, I'm pretty cautious sometimes, just because the market's still figuring out what it wants to do. There's usually some really good trades in there. It's just a matter of, it's like anything else, you got to be good with your entries. Right now, the pre-market did not quite reach the open. We go and take a look at this here. We see that it gapped down, so it's below the RDA. And that's where you'd probably be looking for what level is it looking at. We have this breakup candle here. It's already starting to invalidate it. We have this level here with a minor gap there. There's the 200. Here's the lower RDA band. So we look at the daily, see what that looks like right now. Definitely a weak open. So the question is, does the S&P want to hold the upward momentum here? And that upward momentum is right around this candle area, probably an overshoot of that, probably right around 41.65. So the question right now is, at least as I read the market, is it going for 41.65? Remember, in the Rexdog system, what are you always doing? You're always asking, where is price going? And right now, our initial analysis based on just the Rexdog system. I have all the Rexdog indicators. Below is the new indicator I just released called the Rexdog Market Bias. Takes the Rexdog system and puts it into a single number. Right now it says 31% short on the 30-minute time frame. So it will get a lot smarter. This is just the first run. We haven't even started doing cool things with it yet. So one thing I mentioned, and I can talk about this, is that, you know, I when I came back here a couple weeks ago, I don't know how long ago, I didn't need all these indicators. I mean, because I trade the system I've created that I call the Rexdog system, traded across multiple markets, and like I didn't need this Rexdog market bias indicator, because I can look at my system here and a couple other things and just know, okay, this is what I need to do. I am finding it a little interesting and helpful, but I created this indicator and the other indicators I'm creating for obviously members, people that have joined the training, people that are adopting the Rexdog system, because it does help you trade better. It does give you an instant. For those that haven't been trading my system, obviously, for I'd say 3 months. After about 3 months, you get used to just looking at the charts and immediately knowing what your next trade is, what your next high probability trade is. Our next high probability trade on the SPX right now is a fade above this area here. Why did that not? Okay, there it is. Is a fade here Actually, that's with momentum would be. That'd be with momentum if we get picked up there. And then right around that area that I mentioned before. That's your next high probability trade. It's right around 41.60, if not a little bit lower. So it's just a matter of that's where, at least initially, the market's telling you price wants to go. All right, it is 8:35 my time, so I can trade. And it does look like it wants to continue the sell-off, but let's get picked up here, and let's move this down here, and let's put this up here. All right, now we'll just see if we get picked up. Ideally, we're going to get picked up on this pull, on this, not pull back, but on this test higher. I think we have to enter if we want to participate. All right, so it's a participation entry. A little early. It's more just, it could just rip down from here. So we're just going to participate one position. And then our positions that we want to actually get picked up on are here. Typically when I do a participation entry like that, basically it's a position size where if the market is going to rip, that I'm participating in the move. Obviously it was early. So that is one of the mistakes you make with that. So on this, what I'm looking for, get picked up there, okay. Ideally I get picked up at these two, ideally. And I'm trading this as if I was trading a $4,000 account. I'm not going to do the previous live trading that I did, where I like I said, I know it confused a lot of people. They're just not used to. Here's what I'm going to do for this live trading going forward. I'm going to do one for me, which is trading my style, where I'm literally not going to be talking as much like I am here. And I'm just going to trade and focus. And then I'll do one where I'll slow it down, probably just trade one instrument, and it'll be like this, just really slow for me. So I'll be doing other things in the background that you can't see. But I will be, and I might pause the video and open it up when there's action happening. But it probably won't be just a live, just because there won't be, like now, what are we waiting for? We're just waiting for the sell-off. We're waiting for two things right now. We are waiting to get picked up at the upper level, which isn't going to happen. Or could happen. Or we're waiting for the sell-off down to 41.60. So let's put an profit level there. Let's take a first profit here. And let's put trailing stops up here. Protective stops. There we go. So we're going to get taken out one way or another. Trailing stops are going to hit, or we're going to get first profit here and this profit here. Trailing stops are in profit now. I should publish this page. It's a good initial trade. $250. Well, we had 100 before, I think. Let's put another entry right here. Get rid of these ones. So the momentum seems strong on the downside. It's kind of an orderly sell-off though, the way that it's shaping up. Let's look at that. So obviously we have our first level here that we expect some kind of reaction, just because it's just an obvious breakup candle on the 30-minute time frame. We go to that 1 hour. It's a breakup candle on the 1 hour as well. So about to hit the 200 on the 1 hour, 200 simple moving average. Who knows? Let's look and see what big tech is doing. What is big tech doing? Big tech sold off. So that's another indicator that some heat in the market. The NDX, that's a perfect, NDX pretty much gapped down as with what we're seeing here. Now there might be a stall here, so I might want to take a profit. Might be stalling here. I'm going to take a profit.
Order filled.
I'm going to get rid of this. Like I said before, you never go broke taking profit.
Stop filled.
Yeah.
Order filled.
Got picked up. Our stop got filled. We got picked up again. This needs to be removed. And we need to go here. So I just saw, I mean, it was just obvious that there was a stall there, or at least some kind of pullback. Now, we got taken out on a stop, took profit, and then we got picked up on another position. So ideally I want to be picked up again on another position here at this level for the continuance down. I'll put a trailing stop here. So if I was down to $4,000, this is the style of trading I would be doing. And once I got to 10,000, then I would start getting a little bit more aggressive. So right now we've got about, well, 4,500. It's about 5,500 more to go. Let's see if we can make that today. So let's, nothing to do. See, this is why I'm not complaining, but, I've got to keep the perspective of why am I doing this? I'm doing this really to show that it's possible if you're just trading a simple system. I'm trading the Rexdog system. I'm not talking about it because, I mean, it will get me off on tangents if I talk about it. I mean, I'll mention some of it, but if it's simple system, there's nothing difficult. We're using a couple key indicators, trading with or with. There's only two trade types: momentum and fade. Right now we're in a momentum trade. We are with the momentum of the market. When we get down to this 4160 range, that would be a fade trade. That would be against the market. And this is where I wish I would have either stayed in or just took two positions there. See, we're not quite at the size where we can just enter three positions. What I mean by that is I like to do positions of three, and that's what I teach in the Rexdog system. 3 or 4, but 3 is simple for math. Because 3, you can basically do a pay for the trade exit. Basically, it pays for the trade. You make some profit. The second is your target, which would have been right where we're at. That's our first target. And then third is just a trailing stop you kind of put up by your entry, and you just keep it up there. And basically, that trailing stop is for your runners. Those are your account builders. So that's the way that I like to enter. So when you scale up, what do? You just do 6 positions. Then 9, then 12, then the math is easy. It's easy to how you exit and how you enter. Now I also scale into positions sometimes. So that's the way I like to trade. Some people just go all in with their position, but I like to scale in. Now we're below this low, so you're going to see an initial reaction here, but we want to see that initial reaction, and we want to actually maybe even add on that initial reaction if it's fierce enough to the upside. And then what we want to do is then sell off when it overreaches that. So here we are right at the breakup open. There's a gap here. So everybody knows that gaps are going to get filled, or supposed to get filled. So the first thing you're watching is half of that gap, and then really you want to see an overshoot of that gap. That's your best entry. So an overshoot of the gap is the best entry. There we go. Let's see if we can get picked up. Well, it'll either take us out. We might be a little too late on that. So I'm going to actually get out of our
Filled.
position. And I'm going to exit everything. Clear the board. Cancel all. I don't know why it's working. It's so sluggish. Oh, I know why it's so sluggish. Okay. Don't want to buy this yet. We actually want to fade, not fade. We actually want to go with momentum here. Why? Well, it's the obvious trade. The obvious trade is happening right now. Sometimes the obvious trade continues, but this is the obvious trade. So we want to see what the obvious trade tells us. What happens? Here's the initial reaction. We're going to go
Order
short,
filled.
and then we're going to short right here, and then we're going to rebuy down here. Oh, my Bitcoin short did not get picked up. Damn it. It's a perfect short opportunity. All right, there we go. Let's pick us up. It's a little aggressive, so I might want to move one of these up.
Order filled.
There we go. So now, based on what's happening in the chart, especially this chart here, we have to ask ourselves, is our thesis right? Because we're in a changeover time. So our thesis is, based on just watching the market, trading the markets, is that the obvious trade was obviously at the open. You're going to see a reaction. The high probability trade that I teach in the Rexdog system is, yeah, you might get a reaction there, so you could have scalped that. But the high probability trade is down, where's my little thing? There it is. Down in this region here. That's your high probability entry. Somewhere here. For a long. So we're still with momentum. Momentum is still short. So we're still in a momentum trade here on this short trade. But this range that's starting to be created here, it better break down, otherwise we have to get out of this trade. Otherwise, we're in a bad trade. Now, it might come up and retest this high. So, I'll give it an opportunity to do that. But beyond that, I'm not giving it much more opportunity than that. I actually should enter my third position here.
Order filled.
Get rid of this one here. And leave that one there for if it overshoots that high, it better have a reaction. So here we go. Sell off, come back down. All right. Put in protective stops. At this point, I say this often. Look, you're in profit. We're $412 in profit. Do not let a profitable position go negative. Get taken out and start over. Pay the commission. Okay, there we go. Let's remove one of these. We have two positions. It did overshoot. Come down here and pick us up. Well, we're gonna get taken out. There we go. Got a profit target. Got one trailing. We're up to, like I said, I don't track my P&L. Focus on doing good trades. P&L will take care of itself. And you never go broke taking profits. So we are up to 5,500. Not bad for the first 40 or 19 minutes or so of the market. All right, so now here's where we want to start thinking about maybe we want to fade this move. It's a hard trade for many people to do because the market is giving you mixed signals, but it's the right trade given where we're at in the chart. And given, if you're trading the Rexdog system, you're already looking for what we found here, which is, all right, we're in our general area. Now we're a little early here, so we could see still some sell-off, but sometimes you have to like manage your trades. And this is a prime Rex Dog trade right here, right up the Rex Dog trading system. What do we see? Sell off. We go with momentum. That's what we did. If we look at the 5 minute, just to kind of give clues, go with momentum. We're momentum short. Momentum short. Look at the 79% short on the Rex Dog market bias. And then we always ask, where is price going? Well, we kind of had a general area, overshoot of that overshoot of what I call the obvious trade. And then that's our entry. And then now we are in, oh, we're not in. That we were in positions. Did we not get picked up? Okay, well, we're going to enter.
Order filled.
We're going to enter here. That's what happens when I talk instead of trade. All right. So the expectation is that this low is going to hold. That's what we want to see. And then we're going to see a change in bias. Push that up so we get picked up. I want to get picked up on one more. There we go. And at least this one here. This one here we'll put below the low. If it gets below the low and it stays down there, then our thesis for the market turning here is potentially wrong. Big tech is starting to move on to the upside to kind of test the daily VWAP. It's starting to stutter there for a second. Guess we're going to have to settle for 2 positions for now on this trade. Now you're just in a changeover environment. So when you're in a changeover environment like this, you're guessing. We're guessing right now. The market hasn't given us enough information yet to tell us whether or not this trade is valid or if momentum is going to shift. We're guessing. So while we were right initially here kind of on our assessment where we would see kind of the actual real push up, I would say, keep in mind you're guessing at this point in time. Until the market structure starts, now we're starting to see some market structure now. We're at a key area on this tick chart here. Let's get picked up one more time. And let's put 2 trailing stops here. In profit. You'll notice sometimes I put them below. That's mainly because of the momentum of the chart. So we're going to sell here and we're going to sell here. That's where we want to sell. And then we're going to put 1 in the middle. And ideally, it will come up to here and pick us up, and then we'll be short again. So we're fading this move. The trade that we're in, you're trading the Rex Dog system, as you are in a fade trade right now. Fade trade, we're up $350. We are fading the momentum of the move. Now the momentum could shift back, could turn to long, but the momentum in the market is short. So any long trade that we're in, we're fading the overall momentum. Now if we get picked up here at these positions up here, we'll be still with the momentum of the market, which is short. So the momentum is still short, especially on the 5-minute time frame. The 1-hour time frame, momentum short. Switched over on that candle. The daily time frame, we are momentum. Short-term momentum, we're in a changeover. Straight up momentum, we're 50% long. So we're still a long environment.
Stop filled.
All right, so we got stopped out. Let's put the 30-minute up here. That's fine. I'll happily get taken out on trailing stop and profit. This is no longer valid. This entry. Probably get taken out here.
Stop filled.
Yep. All right. Now we're kind of in a no trade zone. Probably should have kept that last one to move the trailing stop down, but I'm fine. $5,900 if you're the type of person that likes to track your P&L. We might be able to get to 7. Depends how long I record this. I do have to leave. I have an appointment at 11 a.m. my time. So really I've got another hour or so here that I can live trade. I think this will be more up people's speed. Now, I'm not explaining the system mainly, well, I'll be completely upfront. I'm not explaining the system because I'm trading the system. And look, I came back with, so we got picked up on a short. I came back because I felt that the training that I did was foundational and that I trade a system that I could teach and people could adopt and trade it with conviction themselves. And I felt I still had more to give to the trading world. That was one of the big reasons why. So, you know, I'm going to trade it. I'm going to explain as much as I can, but I want to create elite traders, and the minimal fee that I charge for my trading, all my indicators and everything else, is to me showing commitment, and then we'll show that out. And for those in the den, you know, I'm answering questions quick. I'm there. I'm from my perspective. It's really to advance everybody in the training to become elite traders as quick as possible by adopting the Rexdog trading system into your own trading system. Now you're using 80%, 90% of the foundation of the Rexdog system because it reverse engineers momentum in the market. So we got picked up a little early there. So we're scaling in at a larger position here, aren't we? We're scaling in at 5, and we're actually going to do 6. Now this is the maximum you would do in an account this size. This is the maximum you would do in an account this size. You're not going to go above 6. It's just too much of a risk. And where are we entering? Well, we're a little early on that too, given the 5-minute chart. Because the 5-minute chart tells us we should be at 41.82, which, you know, the futures always overshoots the actual chart itself. When I say chart itself, obviously we're talking about the NDX chart. So it all typically overshoots it. And ideally our entry is right around 41.82, but we're right around 41.77 on the actual chart. That's why I have these up here so it can overshoot. So it's 3 more positions so it can overshoot. But keep in mind, what are we trading here? We are trading momentum short. So we are with momentum. So we're at our high probability entry on momentum. Now, when you're looking for a momentum check-in, like it was happening here, you're going to see this where you're going to have a pay attention candle. We could call this green candle here a pay attention candle. And that'd be a pay attention candle. And you're going to have a follow-up candle typically. And then you're probably going to have one more follow-up green candle that's going to overshoot this a bit. And then it's going to break down. That's your standard pattern that you would see on a momentum test. So we're looking good on the tick chart over here. This tick chart's holding up the way it is. The 1 hour chart, that's a little concerning on the lows, meaning maybe this is the low for the day. It is 9 o'clock, so we have end of hour action. You have to always be mindful of the time. Typically around 1 minute before the close of the half hour. This is half of the initial balance. You're used to TPO conversations. So we're in half of the initial balance. Typically, you will see maybe action around 1 minute to 4 minutes, 3 minutes into the new hour. That is, I'd say, quote unquote aggressive. So what do we do here? Okay, well,
Stop field.
So I'm not going to let this go back to I'm not going to hold this position
Stop field.
out of profit, put it that way. So let's just take the profit that we have here, even though probably the move up here. See, the reason for this, remember, we're managing risk. We're at the end of hour. So the end of hour, things could go, it's 50-50. It could rip up, it could rip down.
Stop field.
So I don't really want to risk that. I'd rather just start over on the position above higher. So we'll start over. We're up to 6,043. I tell you I don't watch my P&L, but I'm just doing that just because I'm live, and I guess that's what I've seen other traders do. I actually on YouTube I actually will just trade my style, so and stop trying to do what other. I've watched some of these other live trading things to see, well, is there something I can do or I can learn and do the same to make it to add value. What I've kind of resolved on is I'm just gonna trade, and I'll do one like this. Now I'm repeating myself. I'll do a run where I just kind of trade one asset, one instrument, and then I'll do my normal trading because I'm missing probably about 7 or 8 trades now. All right, we are waiting for the NASDAQ, not the NASDAQ, sorry. We are waiting for the S&P to hit 4181 on the chart. So it's either going to break down here or it's going to hit that 4181. This is where then we want to be picked up above here. Highest probability. Short momentum trade there.
Order filled.
There we go. We got picked up. Let's move this down so we can actually see what's going on. Okay, we got picked up on 2. I must have had 2 there. So we need to remove one of these. So we're just picked up on 1. So this position, given where our entry is, I will pick up that upper position if it does. And I will allow it to kind of go up there. Now, here's the thing on this momentum type of trade. When it's doing a momentum check-in like it is now, you have to project out where that momentum check-in might be. Maybe that momentum check-in really isn't 4182. There's no exact in trading. It's like there's no crying in baseball. I don't know if those two phrases match, but there's no exact in trading. So our exact number would be 4182.14. That'd be our exact number. That's the perfect, continue momentum, check-in, trade, entry. That's the perfect continue momentum. It looks like it wants to do that, actually. It looks like it actually wants to tag that. So we will go off this high here, add another entry here, and we'll add another entry here. That breakdown candle. And see if we get picked up. Now it's just a waiting game. So I will potentially let this position go a little bit against me. Mainly because we are in a textbook momentum trade short. So we are in a textbook momentum trade short. So in this type of textbook momentum trade short, you're scaling into the position as I am here. In addition to scaling in, you expect possibly an overshoot. It's hard to time these things, but once it gets to that key level, it might not be an immediate breakdown. You have to give the chart an opportunity to let the algorithm kick in. And when I say algorithm, for those that are new, the algorithm is every actor, every possible thing in the market. What the Rexdog trading system does is it basically reverse engineers the algorithm. You watch a couple key things on the chart, trade around those couple key things based on how price is behaving around that, follow some simple rules, and that's all you have to worry about. Now, I say the algorithm because that includes the hedge fund guy in New Jersey, the lady that works at Goldman Sachs, that handles, family accounts, family trade accounts. Yeah, it encompasses the person in Ohio that is trading meme stocks. It encompasses the algorithm created by some person that will never be known, that just, makes a couple cents here, a couple cents there. It encompasses everything. It's the hidden hand on the market. So when I say the algorithm switch over, basically that literally means the algorithm has to switch over. Right now, the algorithm of the market that we reverse engineer with the Rexstock trading system is we are momentum short. So we look for our highest probability long fade trades, which is what we did at the bottom. Would have been nicer to stay in here all the way to this top. But we look for high probability fade trades. We also went with momentum in the beginning. So we went with momentum, which was a short. Sold at kind of the bottom and then bought at the bottom as a momentum, as a fade of the momentum. So we were fading the overall momentum. Now we are looking to re-enter as a momentum short with momentum. Now, when you're at these high probability areas like here, you expect to see a stall like we do now. And you just got to be patient and give the market time to give you the information of whether or not is this still a high probability trade area. We're in the trade already. We're not in at the size we would like. We'd like to be in at least 3, but we're in the trade. We're not going to trade the trade. We're not going to chase the trade at this point in time because it's still trying to decide, does the algorithm want to switch over or start a switch over where it wants to range maybe for a little bit and then go momentum long?
Order filled.
Or does the algorithm want to stay momentum short? So we're seeing that initial overshoot right now, which is what we would expect. It wants to tag a key level. That's what the market's showing you. Wants to tag that key level we mentioned. So we're going to go 6 and so what do we have up here though that should concern us? We'll see this here. This is the high. So these lines here are initial balance lines, is the way you can look at it. That's the middle section. This is the high, this is the low. So what should concern us right away? Well, the first thing that concerns us is in the back of our mind, as I constantly say. I'm always thinking, where is price going? Where is it going? Where is it going? It's the only thing I care about. It's the only thing you should care about. And then you look at the charts and you have simple rules that tell you whether or not it's going where you think it's going or where it might be going. It's really, if you want to make it, not even make it. If you want to trade, I think, the most simple way possible, all you need to do is come up with the key things that you're looking at on a chart. Ask yourself, where is price going? And have simple rules around that. I'm trading the simple rules right now. I don't have to really think. I won't even have to really watch this chart because I'm trading the simple rules. The rules are almost broken, almost. But remember, we're going with a momentum fade. So if it doesn't fail around this 4180 number, and we don't see some reaction to the downside, to at least a downside target, then we have to rethink our thesis and say, well, maybe price is going to that high. Maybe it's trying, because right now, if we just use simple, okay, there we go. That's what we're looking for. So it is going to the high. See that? Why am I? Okay, I know why. So if we just use simple, like I said, you're looking at simple things, very simple things. Then you just make assessments based on rules that you've created around that. You don't have to think. The less you have to think in trading, when you're actively trading, the more successful you will be. You should do your pre-market that makes you aware of the levels, where things are, where momentum is, everything else. When you're actively trading, you're trading your rules. You're making an assessment based on the real-time information the market is giving you. So the real-time information the market's giving us right now is, well, it overshot that key level. We're scaling into this trade, and ideally it will retest this high, pick us up again, and then it'll fail from there. That's what we're looking for. I'm a little bit more down than I would like to be in this account because we
Order
just
filled.
kind of blew a good portion of our profit we made if we take an exit here at $937,000. But I'm trading at a high probability turn point. So I don't see anything in this chart right now except for the change of momentum on this chart here. I should make this bigger. There we go. Except for the change of momentum in this chart here that is holding up, that tells us that we could potentially be wrong. This candle close in the 5-minute will tell us. Because this candle close in the 5-minute literally is our rule right here. Because we've got one momentum shift candle close. And now it's just a matter of are we momentum? Do we need to start thinking momentum long here for a higher push up? Or do we stick with momentum short? So I did that. Sorry, you're going to have to hear me typing. So the expectation now is that there's going to be a failure here. Failure to the downside. Continuation of momentum. It's not quite as quick as we would like to see. So that tells us that one of two things are going to happen. That upward momentum is going to stay intact. And it's going to hit a next level up. Or, and it still has 2 minutes to fill in this 5-minute candle. Or, we were way early. Also, you have to listen to my Discord server stuff here and there. Reduce to TPO charts. All right. Well, I think we might need to take all right. Should have made that upside target our target. So I will add 3 more positions there. And then, you know, we should, one thing, the NASDAQ is coming from its low with a pretty strong rejection candle. It's pretty interesting. So we'll see. Ideally, we do get picked up these additional 3 positions here. Once again, it's larger than what we should be doing on. You know, this is the. I still have the challenge of, okay, let me trade. Let me trade at this account size. Update that. All right, so we got our first reaction, sell. We're gonna see maybe potentially, this is where we should potentially maybe even get out at just break even, potentially. We'll see what happens here. Right here is where we're gonna get the answer. Specifically at our entry level, which is a terrible entry. Gonna get an overshoot. I might just take half off. Now it's another strategy that when you're larger than you should be, you're not quite sure, you can always take half off. Now it would have been nicer to get picked up at these higher levels because then we would have been in profit right here. We don't have to be patient. Now we are getting initial signals on some things here. But it's looking to close above a major momentum check at this level. But it has switched over on the tick chart. So let's just be patient. That's about all we can do. I know it's quiet. Like I'm doing stuff, so I guess I should focus on trying to add value. But all right, there we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, now it's just a matter of, I think we're gonna just probably exit and start over because it needs to have more commitment to the downside here. Come on, overshoot. We're looking for an overshoot. 3. Why aren't we in profit there? Shouldn't we be in profit? Yeah, see, I don't know what the hell's going on. I know what's going on. I'm on a VPN. All right, we're going to take half off.
Order filled.
No idea where we're at because it's my connection VPN is not keeping up. And we're going to put trailing stops in. Actually, I'm not going to do 3. I'm going to do 1 at a time. So I'll do 1. Yeah, this is great. Okay, at least I know now that I can't do VPN and trade on this. That's a good thing to know.
Order filled.
All right, I'm pretty sure we did not get where we want to be. Why am I still in those positions? All right, I should shut this down and get off the VPN. That'll help. There we go. So we should see a switch over in the connection now. I think that halves my actual bandwidth. I mean, I don't know how even half wouldn't keep up with the data, but that's fine. All right. Let's see whether or not this thing picked up. So we're got dinged in our P&L a little bit because of the connection issue, because I'm on a VPN. I got to remember when I do this not to trade the VPN, not to have the VPN on. And I might even have to restart because it looks like it's just being okay. I'm going to restart. All right, well, that was annoying. I have to remember that to just, when I'm on a VPN, to get off the VPN if I'm doing, obviously, live trading. Typically, I'm on a VPN on another machine too. So anyways, we got, we should have been at least somewhat in profit on that move. That's kind of, I'm a little upset about that whole situation. And I'm a little upset that we didn't actually,
Order filled.
just annoys me when tech doesn't work. So the momentum is holding for an upside test. We've got those signals. So that signal has been broadcast to us. So we will be doing, we're still in a fade trade because the momentum's still short. So this is a fade long, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, market wants to test higher. So our next high probability, well, is basically the open at 41.91. So it looks like it wants to go and retest the open in the first hour. So in the initial balance, it wants to retest the open the first hour of the day. We should be up more than this. Should be up to 6,400 at least. If that little tech snafu didn't happen, we would have been able to get out of that position that was not the best entry, had a better exit. I say we. It's more me.
Order filled.
So, I don't know. There's no one else in the car right now here. All right, pick us up. Come on. Pick us up and then go into your upside test. It's pretty much what I'm waiting for. Now, not the best entry because we're at the middle of a range here. So, not the best long entry. But we're going with what the chart's telling us. So, we're not going to argue with the chart. Could have a sell-off here too. That's the other challenge. So, we should be very careful here because it could just rip down. So, we are going to maybe consider even reversing here based on what I see. Potentially. This next minute will tell us because we have the 5-minute close. So this 5-minute candle close will kind of tell us what does it want to do in relation to the previous candle. Not a high probability entry on the long side. All right, it's still holding that low. But all right.
Order filled.
Probability favors a short here. So we're going to do that. There we go. Lost a little bit on that. But right now, based on what's happening, probability favors a short to be on the short side. Might get a little chop here, but based on trading the system, short side is the right trade, even though it looks like it wants to test higher. So we don't be as aggressive with our additional entries here. We put them up here to get picked up on potential high tests, and then just be patient with whatever it wants to do. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's what we're looking for. Let's put some stops in, trailing stops. Be a shame if we get taken out on these trailing stops because I think it might actually sell off from here, but that's trading. I don't want a positive trade to go negative. I don't trade the ES or the SPX as much. I trade the NASDAQ. I mean, I do trade the ES. It's just not something like I said, I trade in the same system, so it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of, like anything else, you can trade a system, but if you trade something day in and day out, like I trade the NASDAQ every day, I'm used to its gyrations or its movements, I guess you could say. And sometimes it just takes a little bit just to kind of get into the feel of what the market wants to do and the movements of the market. And when you trade something quite often, you get to understand it, its personality in a way. So you'll notice times when, okay, well, it's following its typical personality or something here is up with the market or, and these are all projections that we put on the market. We'll never know. Well, you never know. That's why I say you don't ask why, because you'll never know. We're going to get taken out here.
Stop filled.
Yeah.
Stop filled.
All right. Now we're just going to be patient for an upside failure. So we're still not above 6,000. Huh. I guess I shouldn't complain. I mean, what did we start at? 4,100 or something? So what are we at? Almost 6,000? That would be, I don't know, 5,900. That's not bad. Come on. See? Being very stubborn. Now, we're at this area where we're literally... So the momentum is saying that it wants to be short. But what you're seeing in the chart... So this is where your rules come into play. So our rules tell us in the Rec Stock system at this point in time, this candle is giving us the intention that it wants to continue down. The chart is telling us that it doesn't quite want to do that yet. Now the candle hasn't closed. We base our decisions on the close. We are in the first hour of initial balance. So that's why we're not being really aggressive here, because this is the first hour, quote unquote, initial balance of the market. Decisions will be made here in about a minute on what people want to potentially do. We've got the 4190 area that is probably where we probably should look for entries. So we'll put entries here and entries here. The momentum, though, is still momentum short. That's what it's looking to do. But as you can see in the chart here to the right, it's an orderly sell-off. I say orderly because whenever you see a sell-off where there's bids in the market, then it's orderly, meaning that there's still buyers. When you see a bidless move, basically there's no buyers. All right, so we didn't want to be short there. So the question is, do we want to chase this trade or wait for a pullback? Should never chase a trade, but when I say chase, I basically mean that you got to trade with momentum. Sometimes you have to trade with the momentum that the chart's at. Let's remove all these. And then, yeah, there we go. So they're seeing the normal kind of reaction that we would get.
Order filled.
All right, picked up there.
Order filled.
Now we are in the first minute of the initial balance close. So we actually probably want to reverse that
Order filled.
trade and go long. Now you're saying, well, wasn't it short? Yeah, but it wants to test the upside. I mean, on this close, it wants to test the upside. So our best entry is right around here. It's our best entry for a short at this point in time. I mean, really the level that we need to watch right now is 4182. Close above 4182. means that the upside test, our next momentum check-in, is on the upside. So now we are in profit, and we are not going to let that go to a loss. So let's put a trailing stop. It's really, like I said, we're in initial balance, so we're really mindful of the fact that initial balance just closed. We're 1 minute into that. Probably be taken out here. Who knows? There's just no commitment.
Stop field.
Needs to rip to the upside here. And take out these highs.
Stop field.
Yeah.
Order filled.
The thesis still is that the momentum short term is on the long side. Momentum on main money charts are short, but it's showing based on closes that it doesn't want to sell off. It wants to test an upper momentum area. So that's why I'm trading long and not going with momentum short. I'm fading the move because that's what basically the price action's telling you, and the closes. So we had one close that told us, okay, we want to still be momentum short, but we're projecting out this close now, and this close is telling us, well, it wants to be short-term momentum long. So maybe we'll get picked up here on a second entry. Don't have much to add here other than I'm not exactly excited about the last two trades I did. I'm just not used to watching one chart either. I'm not complaining. I'm literally just,
Order filled.
the speed that I typically trade at. This is definitely a slower speed. There's just no commitment to the upside. There's no commitment to the downside. So we might be in a no trade area, meaning that we shouldn't be trading. And when we're in a no trade area, what does that mean? We sell tops, we buy bottoms, which you should do anyways. But it's even more important when you're in this no trade area, middle of the range. So we have one more long position we could go here potentially, or we need to decide whether or not we want to reverse it. And it's right at that area, so we're going to actually go long one more
Order filled.
and give it a chance. What was that? Give it a chance to actually find quote-unquote support at this level. Now, if it doesn't here, then we're just going to reverse this position. And we know that the downside momentum doesn't want to go to the upside check. So we're kind of getting our answer right now. Now we just need to see commitment to follow through on what just happened there. There we go. See, sometimes you got to give it time. You got to let a candle close. We let that 5-minute candle close. And now we're seeing potential follow through. It needs to continue. Now, I'm going to put protective stops here just because it might rip down. But I'm going to try to be in this position for the next momentum test upward. So I just have protective stops below our entry. At our entry would be a little aggressive above, so we might get taken out on a test down. But I want these to just kind of trail up as price looks like it wants to move up. Yeah, let's see.
Stop field.
Of course. There's just no commitment to that upside move. All right, that gave us our answer.
Order filled.
We need to be short. There we go. Pick us
Order
up.
filled.
Pick us up. All right, and 3 here.
Order filled.
Okay, I got the answer I was looking for from the chart, and we're going to trade the rules. Rules say go short here. Rules say don't argue with the chart. We've got multiple signals that we should be short. Multiple rules tell us we should be short. Multiple rules tell us that the long fade trade is the wrong trade. So, as I say many times, do not argue with the chart. You're not smarter than the data that's coming out of the chart and the rules that you've created. So, don't argue with the chart. Let's get picked up on 2 more here. Let's go here. Here. Might just knock us back into non-profitable state. No, we're good. So where is price going? That's the question. This is back where we would have said, you know what, we should have stayed with those upper shorts we had a long time ago. Or really a long time ago, but whenever it was. Now, I know for some people it's probably frustrating what just kind of happened. Because what did I do? I was long for a bit. I was kind of chopped around in some trades. Kind of probably dinged my P&L. And it might look like I was indecisive, which I don't care. Because I'll change my mind in 2 seconds if the information tells us. We were at a point in the chart where the rules were kind of... We were kind of in a no-trade zone. I'm an aggressive trader. I'm an always-in trader. Now, at this account size, I probably should not be an always-in trader. I should just be trading high-probability trades. That wasn't a high-probability trade area. So that's what happens when you're in a non-high-probability trade area. You make bad trades. So those were bad trades. I'm not going to run from it. They were bad trades. So the second that the rules became clear in my trading system, Rexdog trading system, what did I do? I followed the rules. I didn't argue with the chart. I made the rules. I trust the rules. I trade with conviction. I'm not going to argue with the chart. I'm going to actually take 1 off here.
Order filled.
Just because I want to take some profit. That's to pay for the trade profit, because what's happening right now is there's a little stall at the midpoint of the initial kind of opening range. You expect to see that. This actually could be a point where it actually might want to find some buyer support, quote unquote. We want to use that term. So we won't be as aggressive on our re-entries, and we will put protective stops up here. Where is price going? Where is price going? Well, the first target is just short of the low of the day at our pay attention candle right here. Somewhere in the range of this pay attention candle. That's where price is going. That's our target. Second target is the low of the day, overshoot a low of the day. That's where price is going, potentially. Why would it stop here? I don't know. What do our rules say? Well, one of our rules is that's half of the opening range. Okay, we expect to stall. We're watching what does price do. That's what we're doing. Well, I'm kind of doing other things, but I'm just being completely upfront with you on everything I'm doing. I'm not like trying to be nonchalant about this stuff. I'm just, like I said, for me, how I've developed as in my trading career and me and who I am as a trader, this is this type of trading for me, I just don't trade at this speed anymore. I just don't trade one instrument. And I know sometimes I'm in a chart for a couple 10 seconds, trade, trailing stops, move on. I mean, I think with the first live trading, I kind of shared some of that, even though I'm still not happy with that trading session. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing something interesting, aren't we? We're seeing that potentially that level, the market might think that there's something to that level. What do we want to see? We want to see a close below it. Shows intention. So let's see a close below it. Show us your intention. Market, you need to give us intention. What am I looking for here? I ideally would like to be picked up for these additional positions up here, providing that the momentum indicators don't change on the chart. And then ride those down to probably here, 41.69. Then go long. That's the plan. That's what the rules say right now. Based on everything we see here, that's what the rules in the RexDog system say. And in fact, if I show you, I just released one of the intention videos. So here, this is the intention video. This kind of gives you the intention overview. What else did I release today? Oh, I don't have that. I need to send a note to tell them to release that. So once I send a note over here and get them to release it, then we can say, I can show you the other things that I released. Okay, we're waiting for a close below that level. That's all we're waiting for. Right now, until there's a close below that level here, we're just being patient. Remember, in the RexDog system, there is 3 trade entries and trade exits. There's 3 places you watch: candles, bias, levels. Well, our bias failed, so we're on the right side of the momentum on bias. We are at a level right now. This is a level. This is what I talk about. This is a level. It's a defined level that we've defined, that we put importance to, that we think the market puts importance to. This is an important point. See, Like, we project on the market what we think is important. We have no idea if the market thinks that important. That mid-level initial balance section, well, I've traded it enough times that I believe the market puts importance to it. Why? I have no idea. I don't have a clue. It could be, I've said this before, it could be gerbils, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter because you don't need to know why. All you need to know is just say, okay, on a probability basis, the market tends to find this as an important level. Now, we might be potentially on the wrong side of this trade because it actually found support there, but we're hitting another important indicator in our trading system. We're at a momentum area. So it hit a level. We see a reaction at a level. Time is more important than price. It spent a lot of time there. That should have told us that we probably should have took a profit, which we did. Probably maybe should have took more profit. I'm actually, yeah. I want to be out of those stops. And as you can see here, it moved from that level up to a momentum check. And now it might even rip higher. This is why I don't talk and I should just trade. So we got our answer there. We're going to reverse. We're going to add. We're going to add here. Dinged our P&L. Because I was talking. I should have just friggin' been trading. Because I would have switched the second that this candle hit. I hate bad trading. I detest bad trading. I can't do this live trading and actually talk to you. Because I make stupid mistakes like that. So now I'm just going to trade. I'm not going to talk. Because I'm actually pretty upset with that. Just because I was trying to talk through what we were doing. And I'm at the point where I don't... Okay, whatever. We're back into profit. Whatever. Keep going. There's our first momentum check. There's our second. Gonna sell, sell, sell. We need another push up here. We need to sell these highs. There we go. And I'm not gonna go negative on this, so here we go. Come on, push up there. There you go. I think that's the overnight. All right, well, I turned a shitty trade, went the right way with based on what the chart was telling us, into some profit. I'm still utterly upset. Doesn't sound like it. I just hate bad trades. I literally hate bad trades. They detest me. It's actually in my sheet. Actually, I should show you this. Without being distracted, I should say.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. All right, now let's go short. Want to short anything above here.
Order filled.
Remove this, remove this, remove this. Want to short this. Anything above here we want to short.